Hello and thank you for joining the Thursday's edition, Friday really, edition of Journalist Hangout. I am Dakbo Aruwajoye, and today on the Hangout, President Buhari finally arrives the country after sick leave in London. Fashola responds to Ambode's allegation of frustrating Lagos airport road, and 2 policemen bag death sentence over a murder of traders. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Mojid Jamiu, and Shola Ojewusi will be hanging out with me today. Journalist Hangout starts now. And here is the cherry news for Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari arrived the country in the early hours of today. Shortly after his arrival, he held a meeting with government officials at the House of Rock Villa in Abuja. And now a bombshell. President Buhari says he will not be resuming official duties yet. And as such, Professor Yemi Oshibajo should continue in acting capacity. Our correspondent, Sumner Sambo, provides updates on the president's arrival.
The president, while meeting with his cabinet and other members of the presidency, said he is not resuming work immediately, that he would use this opportunity to rest for a while, that the acting president, Yemi Oshibanjo, will continue. And the president also took out time to thank the Nigerian public for all their prayers, specifically asking Nigerians not to lead delegations to the Aso Rock Villa on a courtesy call to him. He says anyone who plans to lead any delegation to the presidential villa should put that on hold right now because he's still taking his time to rest. And meanwhile, the vice president will continue to act while he takes his rest. Now, there is no specific duration set by the president at which he's going to conclude this rest. So it is now left to be seen if the president will take a week or 2 more. But what should be on the minds of Nigerians is that the president is back and the presidency is going to keep coordinating as one to reach out to Nigerians and ensure that the vision of the president continues to be worked upon by federal ministers and other top government officials.
Okay, that's the update for our correspondents there, Sumner Sambo. Gentlemen, let me go to you now. Kolade Otitoju, I told you he's around. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Mojid Jamiu, and also Shola Ojewusi. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Let me go to you, sir. Let me start with you. What do you think? It's a good news, definitely.
Yes, it's a good news that our president is back home. No matter what, the Yorubas will say, "Ajo le dabile." You know, no place can be as good as home. You know, forget all these claims that home away from home. Somewhere is home away from home. There can never be anywhere as good as your home.
Home is home.
When you are out of your home, it's just like when we travel outside Lagos, we feel that natural pull to come back to Lagos immediately because your body, your whole body is already conditioned to functioning in Lagos. So you want to come back. There's nowhere else that you go that you won't want to come back immediately. So the president must have been homesick, you know, and now he's back home. You see, the president is an old man. We cannot deny that. He's old and he's ill at this time and frail. That's why I quarreled with journalists who came on air to say the president is ill and hearty. Because the definition of ill and hearty, the president doesn't fit that definition at this time. It's clear anybody can read it.
Which is not a bad thing, really. Yeah,
it's the
it happens to
definition.
anybody.
It does not fit that definition at this time. It is not his fault. When you grow old, and we all pray to grow old. We all pray to see our parents live very long.
Yes.
When you grow old and you get to his age, all kinds of ailments manifest. They crawl out of you. Rheumatic pains and the rest. We've all managed old people, so we know what it is like.
Yes.
So at this time, he's depthy, he's strong, he's energetic, he's naturally primed for work. Those who work with him testify that at 11 p.m. sometimes he's still working, you know. The vice president is like that.
Yes.
And the president must be really, really proud of the tremendous work that Oshibajo has done in his absence. across Nigeria, people can see that he has done a lot. So all he can do as a testament to his confidence in his abilities. In fact, a friend of mine on Facebook described Osinbajo as the best VP Nigeria ever had. You know, I don't know how he came by that conclusion, but he must have been serenaded by the hard work that Osinbajo put in the absence of his boss. So now the president knows that Nigeria is in good hands with his deputy in charge. And he's saying, see, I've chosen to come on a Friday so that I don't have to resume work immediately. So continue this work. I'm still resting. If his body, if he has recovered a little bit, the recovery can continue here in Nigeria. You know, doctors will attend to him. I don't know what his doctors say to him. But if he feels strong enough to walk around, to change channels with a remote, and just feel generally a bit strong, the recovery can go on here. And we can only continue to pray for him. That's the best that Nigerians can do for him. Continue to pray for him that God should prolong his years and give him the energy that is lacking at this time, so that he can come back and continue his work and continue to be the terror to corrupt people. You know, the Hausa people will say, Shugabankasa, Dodon, Mutande Sukesata.
What does that mean?
That our president is the terror to the people who steal.
Okay.
So now I know how terrifying it will be just looking at that man coming down.
So we pray for long life for the president to remain a terror forever.
Let me go to constitute a terror to them.
Let me go to you. A lot of people, I don't know how to put it. A lot of people, some people, I don't know how people just wish people dead. I don't know how. But people thought the president would not come today. To some people, they might still come and say, no, that's not the president. You know how
maybe it looks like
the president. It's possible, right?
You know, Dapo, I will start where they stopped. There is this Hausa parlance too that says, those who think government money is kudi babang ganiko, is it your father's money? Now they should have a rethink that yes, it is somebody's father's money. The man
Kudim Babankane?
Yeah, Kudim Babankane. Is it your father's money? That I'm stealing? So that's why some people have the effrontery when they even took some money from them.
They sue us.
They sue the state. Can you imagine?
There's a piece of national cake.
Yes. So that aside, now to the question of the rumor mongering.
Yes.
Some people, in fact, it became issues in mosques, churches. Some seers will tell you that, no, I am telling you the president is dead. That even, in fact, that is in hospice, that they are just waiting to pack him, that he cannot come back alive, just to fulfill some promises. To the extent that even some governors went on here to say that he is the only one that can tell Nigerians, and they will believe that the president must call him.
Yes, your governor now. Yes, your governor. You are not proud. That's why I come here. You know, I come here and say that my governor is better than yours.
Yes.
So he's sitting beside me. He knows that my governor is better than yours. So,
of course. You see, how can
how would that kind of governor feel
now?
That's the question.
To the extent, I mean, how can you condescend to that kind of level? Now, on Osinbajo's birthday, the Buhari's message to him said, "From my running mate, you became a friend."
I love that line.
He trusts his loyalty.
That is it. And you can see what the VP has been able to do in the past few days. He's been able to stabilize the economy. That's why you choose carefully who your deputy will be.
Yes,
and that's why we are seeing a very, very seamless holding on, so to say. I mean, the acting portfolio, he did it very well. And I think we should give kudos to Osinbajo, who held forth. And to those naysayers, now they could see that the president came in, it was live on television. So
Yes.
whether they will tell us again now
He
that
walked down by
it was
himself.
effigy, they said no, all those pictures we were seeing, they were arranged. They even went to Tinubu where they said no, it was not Tinubu.
But you can't blame them because, you know, the cheaper girls to some people are not still, it's a gimmick. No cheaper girls.
Honestly.
We need to go on a short break. When we come back, I need to hear your own thought also. Don't go anywhere. So welcome back. You're still watching Journalist Hangout. And before I went to that break, I did interrupt Fashola, or he was about to start his thought. What do you think? The eagle has landed. The president is back.
Yeah, as responsible citizens, we should be very, very happy, you know. And we are very happy for Nigeria, for the president himself. But out of that, I also want to show that, I mean, we have to praise the president for also taking his reputation further, beyond the fact that he is known as a no-nonsense man, a very strong opponent of corruption. He has also shown that, you know, leadership is about following the rule of law. With the way he handled the handover of responsibilities to the acting president, so to say, shows a great difference for what we used to have, and we should be very proud of him. And he came not even minutes after coming in, I mean, getting to the national consciousness. He's also been able to show that in spite of everything, acknowledging the fact that he's still recuperating and is asking his vice president to continue. You know, it shows that there is a kind of leadership going on in Nigeria today. And there is no issue of rancor that we used to have. So we should really give it to the president.
And the vice also.
Yeah, and the vice. And also for recognizing the talent, you know, in the vice president. I think Osinbajo at 60 has also been able to prove something, that if you give the energetic youth or people of Nigeria the opportunity, they can really perform. And it's to show that governance is not about one person. In the government, you can have a lot of very, very articulate people. Look at those talents and then harness the talent. I think that's what has happened concerning Osinbajo. We all expected that. He's a professor of law. He has proved worthy of that position when he was serving in Lagos State and other places. And he has brought it to bear on governance. So this kind of thing is what we expect at the apex of leadership in Nigeria. And I think it's really something to commend. Going to what you said about some people rejoicing, you know, about somebody's, you know, we are all human beings. One way or the, even I didn't know that I'll be here today, despite my age.
Anything can happen.
You know, because I was just feeling funny. So it can happen to anybody. As Nigerians, as patriots, we should be able to, I mean, to be compassionate. You don't need to rejoice about somebody's death. But, you know, you were using a Hausa saying. I can also say that the kind of politics we play in Nigeria, the fact that this man, I mean, is not in your camp does not mean you should wish him dead. But it's to also go back to the Hausa saying, let me also try and, if your governor is better than somebody, maybe my Hausa is also as good as I can say, Sabo de Kaza, Bayahana Yankata, that you live with the president does not mean you don't want him to die because of that, I mean, selfish feelings you have. Because of your corrupt tendencies. That you are a Nigerian who is corrupt, will really maybe want to encourage you to want to wish the man to just stay in London. So it's really huge.
You can't be excited
for
when
us to have the president in Nigeria.
When you see your terror.
And it is something to celebrate.
You can't be excited when you see your terror.
You can't be excited.
When you see your nightmare alive.
Look at it.
Look at it, has come again. Oh Lord. Okay, let me go to
this
Wahala man. Wahala has come again. Let me go to acting. The vice president will still remain active, acting on behalf of the president. Still a good one, really, but what do you think?
Yes, the constitution states clearly that the vice president will function based on roles assigned to him by the president. you know. And it's a good thing. From every disappointment, most times, from most disappointments, something good comes out. When Yaradua had this problem, it led us to amend the constitution to say that if you are going to be out of the country for more than 10 days, you must hand over.
To your vice
So it is not that the president on his own just felt like handing over. Nigerians are
was compelled.
not, the law is the law now. You know, the law would not have permitted him to act in the way they acted during Yaradua's time. You know, when they just, the man left the country, and Hondoka was telling us that he can rule from anywhere. Things have changed.
I remember that.
Yes, things have changed. So during Jonathan's time, when his wife took ill and had surgery in Germany, Jonathan traveled. Of course, Jonathan handed over to his deputy, Namadina Sambo. You know, so, but he didn't have to stay that long. That's why people didn't start asking questions. But our law now stipulates that as a president, if you are leaving the country for going to leave the country more than 10 days, you must hand over your presidential powers to your deputy. So that is that is really what has happened. And in this case, I can say that it's a win-win situation for both Oshibajo and his deputy, because Oshibajo has now advertised what people didn't know about him until now. What even his boss didn't know about him. Because people can see clearly his passion for peace and for the growth and development of our country. You know, all those places that he had to travel to, just trying to win the peace. And in the Niger Delta, those bombings are not happening anymore. Thanks to all those trips. When you make people feel important, they are not likely to start, giving you problems. They want to give you a chance.
Those who live in glass house don't trust stones.
So he has made them feel important. Now we have peace. Our oil output will naturally go.
But what do you think? Because he mentioned a lot of attributes that the vice president himself has really showcased. But these attributes I really liked about him was the loyalty. It's so scarce nowadays everywhere. People really want to. He said the first law of the rule, I mean, the laws of power is don't outshine your master. But the man has been a loyal person to his master, submissive, if I can use that word.
Yeah, like I said, coming from a background of a pastor, I mean, but apart from that, the man understands law, and he has respect for constituted authority.
As a refined man.
A refined man.
And he's a self-contented man.
Yes, well, contented. I mean, very simple. He dresses simple. You will never see him doing any flashy stuff. Even look at the wife, the way she's dressed. Very simple. Very simple. And so it feels, it feels.
And she's looking beautiful without makeup.
Yeah, Oshibajo feels contented with whatever he has.
God has given him.
And that's why he's been so diligent the way he exercises the power. And I mean, and also, I think God is on our side in Nigeria. And the way he's been able to steer the affairs of state in the past 49 days.
Positively.
Wonderful. From 520 naira to $1, today we are at about 440, 450. And with the possibility that it can still go further down. And that is a reflection of the fact that we are now at about 2 million barrels per day and at $50 per barrel. So the extra coins we are making from crude oil is being used to salvage the naira. That's what the CBN is pumping into the system, and we're having that stability.
Because before he says, let me tell
Can I quickly take Mike and I'll come back? I'm very sorry today. Mike is calling from Okwa, Anambra. Good evening, Mike.
Yes. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Yeah, wonderful. Good to have you.
Please, I thank you for the very wonderful thing you are giving to this discussion.
Thank you very much.
Please, I want to contribute on the issue of the vice president.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, you're on, Mike. We're listening.
Can I continue?
Continue.
Okay. Please, I think, first of all, I want to commend the president of having the courage of handing over the reins of power to the vice president. If not for anything, we have gotten the knowledge that the vice president has every quality of being a president. In fact, the saying around the country is that we've gotten a man, a quality man that we've seen a president we have never had before. All the same, I'm not taking it away from the president. He has been good. He laid the foundation which Professor Tipajo built upon.
Okay.
What I'm asking, appeal for action now is that the president should continue from the effort, the foundation he has laid in the Niger Delta.
Wonderful. You've made your statement, Mike. I have to let you go because of time. You really made a very outstanding statement there. I was going to go to Shola, and you were going to interject, but let me do that after this break, okay, guys? Okay, stay with us, please. Okay, let's round up on this first. Should I go to you first?
I wanted to just remind Nigerians of what the General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye, said about Oshibajo. He said, when you give Oshibajo a job to do, you can go to sleep. I think that he has demonstrated that in the way he has handled the affairs of the state in the absence of his boss. So his boss can just go to sleep knowing that there is a very capable Ijebu man.
Kudos to you.
I'll encourage the president, like my colleagues are saying, to really continue to support the vice president, the acting president, to continue to do what he has been doing, as long as he is still representing the president in the reins of power. And those wonderful policy decisions that really came during the period of his absence should not be set aside. If eventually the president now comes back to the saddle, I think he should look deeply into this government in moving forward.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Fashola. And still ahead on Journalist Hangout, it's the beginning of a battle of the Titans. Who they are, we will tell you after this break. Stay with us, please. So welcome back. A day after the Lagos State Governor accused the Federal Ministry of Works of frustrating his Oshodi Airport Road reconstruction efforts, the minister has spoken. Babatunde Fashola, who is Ambode's predecessor as Lagos State Governor, denied the allegations. The minister explained that the request for the Lagos State government to take over the Oshodi Airport Road, as well as 3 other federal roads in the state, was still being discussed at the Federal Executive Council. And now that both sides have spoken, gentlemen, what's your own take?
I read Fashola's reaction to Governor Ambode's complaints, and I'm not really surprised. I was expecting him to try to defend the indefensible, and he did that. You see, he reminded me of Manchester United striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic elbowed a certain player called Mings in Bournemouth, and after the match they asked him what happened. He said, he jumped into my elbow. So the thing is, Nigerians, even those who have committed murder,
So being defensive,
they will find a way to explain away their actions. This is a former governor of Lagos State who once told us, who famously told us, that it doesn't take more than 6 months to provide electricity.
Yes.
And that the people at the helm of affairs at that time
failed.
could not give us electricity because they are Agba-Atueyo. You know, such derogatory description of a people coming from Fashola. That same man wants us to now know that what he has instituted at the Ministry of Works, Power and Housing is a system whereby when you request to fix a road, in your state, a federal road in your state, you have to wait for 10 months. Wow. Because Fashola was proudly alluding to the fact that Kaduna State had to wait for 10 months. That is what...
For two roads, just for two roads, right?
To the request to fix a federal road.
Yes.
You can't fix your own roads.
Yes.
People are offering to fix roads for you.
Yes.
And you are responding 10 months after. And you are proud. You had no shame. You were proud to say Kaduna waited for 10 months. So he probably wants somebody to wait for 10 months.
Maybe like 20 now, double it or something.
That's not all. Or maybe 24 months.
Maybe 24.
Now, the same former governor told us that the presidential lodge that President Buhari willingly gave to Lagos State. Because those federal properties are rotting away in Lagos. Willingly gave to Lagos. You are now telling us, you are now giving us all kinds of funny reasons. Oh, security. Security how?
You said it's not...
So the president who released the building was not thinking about security. Which security are we even talking about here?
But their papa...
Is it a munition dump? Is it a munition dump where you keep all sorts of ammunition? What security are we talking about here? Is the residence, your alternate residence of the Lagos governor, is it not close to the place? What are we talking about?
A lot of questions.
Funny reasons. He also said, that some of the roads, he talked about the fact that there are some requests that Lagos gave in the past that he had yielded to.
Yes. Yeah, he talked about the 551 billion.
You see, I don't want to talk so much. One thing I just want from Babatunde Raji Fashola is that, look, this is not about ego trip.
Yes.
If you and Ambode, you have issues, because I could see clearly that this was a tit for tat matter, because he also mentioned the fact that Ambode didn't give them a piece of land in Lagos that they requested for. Yes. We, as Nigerian people, we are not interested in ego trips between our leaders. Yes. Just do what is right. And what is right in this case is that the 2 billion that Fashola has to fix that road will not do the kind of job that we want on that road. That 2 billion will not give us the kind of road that I saw in that leads to the Kenya International Airport, Jomo Kenyatta Airport. Yes. It will not give us the kind of road that I saw that leads to the OR Tambo Airport in South Africa. It will not give us the kind of road that leads to the airport in Addis Ababa. Yes. It will they will merely cover that road with fresh asphalt, and then they will tell us that they fixed road. How many of the federal roads have they actually done since this government took over? And Ambode, in his own case, wants to do 10 lanes. I should be excited. That is why I'm on his side. It's not as if he's my friend or that I like him. No. 10 lanes. I will go for 10 lanes any day, walled on both sides, than the 2 billion palliative reconstruction.
Because that's the first road you see when you come into Lagos. And again, when they say when two elephants fight, the grass suffer, is that the instance we say in there? Because Fashola, I mean, because they mentioned the $200 million World Bank loan also is still there, not released.
You see, Dapo, I had a family vacation with my kids, and we flew from New York to Florida. So they announced that we are flying to a local airport when we got to Florida. And my son asked me, I said, Daddy, he said, this is a local airport. Of course, I mean, the airport, you can imagine, I mean, where we are coming from, and Buntra Mohammed International Airport.
That's international.
International.
This should be the best.
He said, well, Daddy, they said this is a local airport. He says, yes, that's their own definition of local. He said, even their local airport, I mean, as you can see, son, it's better than our international airport. The international airport in Lagos is an eyesore. Yes. The 2 billion that has been budgeted for that road in the federal budget for this year cannot even fix the lighting alone. As in the street lights.
We just do a stupid
it cannot fix it, because I know the cost of some of these things. Talk less of even fixing the whole road, because that is we have more flights, like 118 flights minimum coming into Lagos every day.
And is that they take Oshodi or they take Ikeja? And Oshodi should be the...
Oshodi is the
proper lane.
Is the main one. If you are going to, of course, if you are going to VI, that's the fastest route. And you see all sorts of eyesores. You see downforce blocking the road at Nako Junction. You see those trailers struggling with you on the road. You see at 7 and 8, you see them selling some stuff, some manner of thing. Because what somebody said was, he wanted to even wall off the whole place so that what you see are aesthetics.
Even as at now, Beggar Road, they've not finished. It's looking better than
now. The question is, even if Lagos failed to release land for the housing project, in the other 30,
must they retaliate?
No, in the other 36 states, how many housing projects have we had? And apart from that,
an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Must Fashola retaliate?
Even at if the housing project we're even talking about is now under the Federal Ministry of Finance, and in a scheme called the Family Homes Fund.
He was just looking for excuses.
which the Federal Ministry of Finance has budgeted 200 billion for this.
So
year.
now we are being told now by people who would rather lie to Nigerians than speak the truth, that that road connects another state.
Another state.
So that road connects Ogun State. As far the closest, I think it's Songo.
Is that Songo?
Yeah, no.
That's
Baga.
So
Baga,
how
yes.
does it?
Yes.
No, even Baga you still
far,
go far
far,
because it's sharing some parts of it sharing in Lagos.
Yeah.
So how can some go far away? Be what you are talking about when you are talking about interconnectivity between states.
Let the Federal Ministry of Works release the aspect that is in Lagos.
Yes, let's do it.
I think,
do you want to think otherwise?
What I want to ask Minister Fashola, he was there some 3 years ago. He had some momentum, and somehow we were proud of him. One of the reasons why Ambode came in was because people wanted somebody who will really continue
or do better
do better. And for God's sake, in fairness to Ambode, we've seen that this is a guy who's really committed to really, I mean, you can see it everywhere. I'm a Lagosian. I publish a magazine based in Lagos. We go around, we know what is happening. And then I'm excited when I see a Governor Ambode being so interested in that eyesore of a road. You know, like you were saying, when you travel around the world,
I thought it should have been the priority of the federal government.
Because you're talking of tourism. You're talking of tourism development of Lagos. As to
not even only Lagos, of Nigeria. Of Nigeria.
I mean, maybe I'm just
that's
being
where it starts.
particular.
Yes,
that's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
You know, the major airport in Nigeria is Murtala Mohammed Airport, whether you like it or not. And people coming, tourists, so-called tourists, coming from around the world.
That's your first glimpse of Nigeria.
You see, look at that road. It looks so horrible.
I remember the Murtala Mohammed Airport ranks amongst the worst in the world.
You know, somebody is out there. I can imagine. You know, that place needs to be completely landscaped. It should be the pride, the first thing you see. Anytime you go, even the way you can see some patchy work being done there.
Shola, with that 2 billion, that Fashola has, will it do that?
Never.
So the question, Fashola, let the man who has more money to do an excellent job, let him do the job. It's not about ego.
That's what I was saying right from the start. What does he want? What does Fashola want?
I wonder.
This is somebody who wants to make, you know, you are a Lagosian.
But do you think there's a rank? Do you think there's a rank up between
whatever may
of
be
course
the rank?
there is. Of course there is.
We are not interested.
But we are not interested. It's not our business.
They can quarrel, but we want to see action.
Wonderful.
And
we are
this
not
government
interested in
wants
your
to do it.
quarrel.
Fashola should allow him to give his best to this road.
Let's leave it at that. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And justice has finally been served onto our 2 former police officers. I will talk about that after this break. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, welcome back. You're still watching Journalist Hangout. I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Mojid Jami here. And we have to excuse Fashola Jewusi. And just joining us is Wale Adetayo. Thank you very much. Adedayo, sorry about that. The rain was the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good to have you here.
Getting
Thank you so much. You know, before you climb the podium, what we were discussing was the fact that there's this rancor. It's not a perceived rancor, that it looks like an evident rancor between the governor of Lagos State and the Minister of Works. Talking about the Raji Fashola. But they say when two elephants fight, the grass suffer. Is that not the instance now?
No, I don't think it's a question of talking about the elephants and the grass. I think if we have to talk about anybody, it just have to be about one elephant. A few years back, I was political editor of The Punch. And then, looking at the situation on ground, I felt the then Minister of Works, Senator Adeshe Ogunlewe, was right.
What do you mean?
To me, in a way, that is the exact position that the former Lagos State governor is taking now. And unfortunately, he was among those castigating, you know, because he was part of the system castigating Ogunlewe then. For God's sake, Nigeria has, I won't call it a bad image across the world. For anybody coming into this country, the first place you get to, forget about Seneboda, it's the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. The volume of traffic handled by that airport is about 50 times, if not more than that of Abuja on a daily basis. So if someone wants to do the road leading to that place, you know that it's not just a question of road. If you look at the roads being done in Lagos, I mean, you have soft landscaping, even the way the whole of the place will be done, the thing will be done up to Oshodi. That means it's taking care of not just transportation. The person is also taking care of tourism. The person is taking, in fact, see, what I even want to say is that I'm ashamed that the Minister of Information has not even come into this before now. It should be the first priority of the Minister of Information, because beyond press statements, beyond interviews and so on, the first thing, there's what we call propaganda of the deed. People who come in and they see how your country looks like. America has the slums now.
Yes.
Then you won't, by the time you get to JFK or you get to Washington,
forget about the slums.
You won't even remember there is slums somewhere. So for me, I feel the Minister of Works missed it big time. And then writing a press statement saying that the governor has called you just once in a year. Like my former editor, Aziz Jekwene, would say, what has that got to do with the price of fish?
Who phone call
What's
here?
our business?
We
What's our business? They don't
Somebody
talk
calls
to
you.
one
I
another.
wonder
who
business now. The thing is, you cannot fix the road, and someone has offered to help you fix the road. For God's sake, being a former governor, not just somebody who has not been here before, you know the peculiar challenges that Lagos has. Because for long, a lot of people have been talking about it, that there should be a special allocation for Lagos. Because whether you like it or not, it remains the commercial capital of Nigeria. And the burden that Lagos is carrying, Abuja cannot carry 10% of it. Everybody, you only need to go to Bega, look at the number of vehicles with people in it coming into Lagos as early as 5 a.m. every day, coming in like that. How many of them leave?
Put so much pressure on the infrastructure.
And the little work so far in Bega has really reduced the stress on commuters.
See, the Bega area you're talking about, whether you like it or not, that main artery there from Ogun to Lagos is a federal road as well.
Federal road, yeah.
It's a federal road. The person that ought to do it is with the Federal Ministry of Work. So for me, what has happened there basically is that I think someone is trying to use a personal issues, you know, to sort out official business. And I think that is very, very wrong. A lot of people have been talking about it. I read some things on the social media. These guys are just being sentimental. They're not talking about the real issue. The only point he made, that I'm talking about the Minister of Works now, is the question of providing land for federal mass housing. But then how many federal housing units have been built in any state?
You were not here when I think it was Moji that said that.
How many?
Let me go to you now, Moji, because you were
many
going to give us a testimony.
Yeah, I was watching the TV, I think 3 or 4 days ago. Bode George is not in APC. And he was recalling what the kind of development that was going on in Ekpe and other parts of Lagos. And he said he can't close his eyes or keep his mouth shut without letting Lagosians know that Ambode is doing a fantastic job. He said, fine, he's in PDP. Ambode defeated his candidate. He said, is something everybody could see.
So leave sentiments apart.
When you fly into Lagos at night now, you will see the serenic view.
Is lighted up.
Everywhere is lighted up.
Light up Lagos.
Unlike in the past, when you fly into Lagos, what you see are like candlelights.
What
Candlelights and downfall.
of all those old ups that have disappeared in Lekki and other areas?
The ones coming here. Can I quickly take Usman from Ikoyi? Good evening, Usman.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, wonderful.
Fine.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Ogajide, good evening.
Good evening, Usman.
How is work?
We thank God, though.
Yeah, thank God this issue have come up today again.
Yes.
Because yesterday I tried to call to correct some impression, but I couldn't get, even after calling about 160 times.
In 1 hour.
I'm telling you. Now, you see, I don't like the impression that people created that you said Abuja as against Lagos. That is not the issue. And that is not the way it's supposed to go. Because it is not the president or the vice president. We are talking about a minister. You don't just right and say you call a section against another section. That is the area I have conflict.
Usman, what we are saying is that some people will sit in Abuja and be doing this. That's why we said Ogunlewe too did it. When he said he doesn't want to see LASMA staff on federal roads in Lagos. No, so Abuja in this case is just used metaphorically, not that the whole of Abuja. No, it's some people who will sit in Abuja and be using some powers to persecute other people. That's what we are talking about.
Is that sorted now?
Okay.
Thank you so much,
let's be frank here to ourselves. Let's tell ourselves the truth. We know very well that between Fashola and Ambode, there's no love lost. We know it right from the campaign.
But that's not our business. Let them do road for us.
I'm telling you what is transparent, because you see the attitude of petition, it carries right from, are you supporting me or not? If you do not support me and have been, I will see you as my enemy.
No. That's not right.
No,
that's not right.
See, my brother, Hillary ran against Obama now.
Obama, yes.
Obama appointed.
Obama appointed
They did it because of that mess up Obama's administration by not doing our job. There's a job to be done.
You cannot be personalizing governance.
It's not done.
They may have their issue. I don't know whether they snatch each other's girlfriend or not. That's not our business. Deal with the issues that concern the Nigerian people.
Fix the road.
And I've given an example to some of my friends before. Because we Nigerians, I don't understand us. They think that, okay, because there's this quarrel, then what Fashola did is right. May God help us to reason in the right way in this country. There's a club called Bayern Munich in Germany. 2 good players in that team, Frank Ribery and Robben, they don't talk.
Arjen Robben.
They don't talk. But on the field of play, if Arjen Robben knows that Ribery is in the best position to score, he will give him the pass. After the match, they will not talk. They don't talk. I'm telling you. You can find out. But he will pass to him. That's being professional. That's working for the overall interest of the club. Fashola is a Lagosian. Whatever Ambode has done, the overriding interest of Fashola should be the health of Lagos, the progress of Lagos. Because he sacrificed here to make Lagos better than he met it. So he cannot afford to do anything that will appear to Lagosians or to some of us that, because he's on the other side now, he's stoning his own.
And Lagos it shouldn't be a deja vu about what happened between OBJ and even the governor of Lagos State.
My greatest concern here now is that, come on, guys, they are in the same. They are in the same party, APC.
Yes.
The same thing that is playing out between Oyo and Osun states on Lautech. So you wonder, when we had opposing parties at the state and federal levels, or at different states, and what should be their common patrimony, I mean, the sort of...
But want to drop a line,
But on this one, I think things should get better soon on it. Because I think I saw it on the news before I left where I was to come here, that the president will still technically be on leave, and the vice president will carry on. From the little the vice president has done so
even
far,
the visit, even to the airport
I have a firm conviction that the vice president will step positively into this, and within the next 1 week, we're going to see positive results. I have no doubt about
And those people are also suggesting that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because both of them are products of the man, that Asiwaju should intervene and ensure that this embarrassment ends. Lagos deserves the best.
No, people are talking about the party APC. No, I don't look at it that way. I'm not even looking at it at the party level. I'm looking at it as the federal government.
That the president, the active president, will take action. That this is right.
Act his office, because like you rightly pointed out, he was at the airport.
He was at the airport.
I don't think that it makes sense for states to have to wait for 10 months before approval can come. It's not as if you are doing reconciliation of account order.
Lagos is not even talking about the 51 billion that is owed by the federal government.
Okay, did it take, for some of the Nigerians who are gullible, who have really been sold on what Fashola said, that it took 10 months, did it take him 10 months to allow Lagos to light up federal roads?
Gentlemen, we have to go.
That's the question.
Tushola Ajewusi is gone now. Wale Adedayo, thank you very much for joining us. Mojib Jamiu, thank you also. Abawajide Koladi Otutoju, thank you. Gentlemen, maybe I have to go for a while, really, because I have to go and serve my state. So I'll see you guys.
We'll be missing you.
He's the new
the press secretary.
Press secretary, electronics.
To Arakunrin Oluwaroti.
Oh,
state governor. So I have to resume next week. Thank you so much.
You are a good boy.
I'll miss journalist Hangout too. You are my good oga also.
I hope we can be borrowing you once in a while.
No problems. I'll ask my governor.
We have a fantastic guy there.
Yes, a lovely guy.
Yeah,
thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll talk. So you guys will talk about the Apple killings
next week.
After I've left, I'll be watching from Ondo State, Alambaka in Akure. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the opportunity once more.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. And that's all on Journalist Hangout. Join them next week, or join us next week, really, for another interesting episode of the program, or watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I am Dakbo Arua Joy. Bye for now. God bless Nigeria.